Hey guys, welcome to today's video on why burnout is not the enemy. And so, if you're new to this channel, you're going to love the insights, inspiration, and lifestyle habits that I share so that you can be living your best life because you are in overflow of the most precious thing that you have to create a big impact in this world, which is your energy. So, my name is Elika. I'm an energy optimization coach, a trusted advisor for purpose driven leaders, founders, and C suites that want to have such a great impact in this world. And they know that energy is something that they need to be on top of. So, if you like the sound of that, what are you waiting for? Subscribe so that you can get notified of the next time I'm sharing the habits and lifestyle hacks that you need to be able to be in that overflow. But let's jump into today's topic because I am the queen of energy management because unfortunately for me, I didn't learn the first time, I learned the second time. But I can tell you that I made a powerful decision in my second burnout that I will never be in this situation again. And yet, I will build, create, and foster a life that I absolutely love, which for me, it's about building a time rich lifestyle. And I will do it without burning out, which was a real journey that I've been on and had to always fine tune and tweak and keep on doing the work that it takes, the inner work, to really align with that vision of what I want in my life. So I'm going to share with you today why burnout isn't the enemy, because having had those experiences and really had a lot of time to reflect over the last 10 years of building business, thinking about harmony in my personal and professional life, and really looking at all the ways that I do it so differently to how I did, I've obviously got a lot of clarity that that element of burnout was very important. So I want you to just imagine that what if burnout is not something that is negative, bad, like inconvenient? That's how I used to think of it. But what if it is really the soul finally calling for you to be in alignment to the highest expression of you that exists, where you get to have it all, but not at the expense of yourself, your relationships, or anything else? And that's how I see burnout and how I reposition it with the clients that I work with so that they can see what this is truly happening, what it's truly a calling for. So my story of burnout is really when I realized, I was chasing the corporate world, the titles and recognition from all the wrong places. And I remember that first moment when I didn't define it as burnout then, but I was just physically exhausted, mentally and emotionally exhausted. And I went looking for answers from a doctor, a functional medicine doctor, which was my first experience of firstly stepping away from the traditional GP and medical system that is really treating symptoms to having somebody that could support me looking at deeper reasons why my body seems to be failing. And that conversation was what gave me some insights that I had to slow down. I remember one of the most powerful things she said to me was when she said, Elika, you're not going to like this, but you need to slow down on exercise. And you imagine that you've lived in a world that always tells you that exercise is how you get health, exercise is what keeps your weight off, exercise is something you need to do more of, and you're hearing that for the first time. So that sent me on a journey, and that journey involved me studying and getting into what was then at that time my executive health coaching business over a decade ago. And it really is the journey that I see most people get stuck at, where you're working on the physical body, the diet and the exercise, but you're not really going into those deeper layers. And so that's what really happened to me. And when I started my second business after the executive health coaching business, which was my restaurant, in that restaurant, I knew that I was doing something that wanted to really make a mission, a difference to the world. I wanted to create impact. I really wanted to support people with their health and well-being through the foods they were eating. And yet my second burnout came. And that second burnout came from running the operations, trying to maintain my coaching business, trying to serve powerfully, um, but equally not feeling like I was fully supported in order to do this. Now, that deep inner work got me to really reassess all the beliefs that I had. And there was a core belief that I had that was I needed to work hard and not smart. And how that showed up for me was I couldn't delegate. When I did delegate, I remember getting an operations manager who was really fantastic people manager. And I just couldn't trust him that he'd make decisions for both the people and for me that was harmonious to us all. Um, when I did have people that were able to do the job that they were hired to do you think I could let them do it? Or do you think I controlled every element of what they did until they couldn't do it anymore? Um, how it also showed up was feeling that my body could do no more and overriding it and constantly pushing for that extra little bit. Working so much in the mind in thinking about all the things that had to be done instead of being in the flow and seeing what was coming my way and what was life trying to show me. So all of those things were just the ways that my core belief at that time, when it came to how I worked, was like working hard and not smart, was showing up. And that second burnout was really important because that second burnout was when I realized, you know, wherever you go, you are there. So here I am, left the corporate world, left a high paid, well, a job, a career that I had worked my whole life for, in something that I deemed as my true purpose and really was, very, very much giving and being of service to others. And yet I was back in the same place. So this experience got me to really go inwards. I had already worked on the physical body. And so this inwards journey got me to really dig deep into the things that were important to me. And, I will say, because it's important to know all the work that it took, I spent years, approximately 5 years, really getting clarity on all the ways that I needed to show up differently. And all the layers and layers of, doing the work, refining, doing the work, refining. And, the truth is also that I feel like I'm always doing the work to some layer, but I can definitely say that the experience of how things affect me right now is completely different. And so every day I experience so much inner peace, so much joy, so much harmony, and less struggle, less uncertainty, less overwhelm, because I just know that like life is happening for me. And to come to that level of clarity and confidence that life is happening for me did take a lot of work. And so um I want to share that with you so that you can understand that the burnout could show up for different people in different ways. But the truth is, when I set up my second business, I wasn't really aligned to what I was really truly here to do. And there was something that I remember that somebody important in my life had said to me at the time, which is, if you really just want to help people, you don't need to do that by running this business. So for me, that was running all the operations and all the headaches that came with that, from the legislation for hiring and all the issues. And the desire that I had could come in many different ways. And so that's where I feel like life gave me a course correction, and it course corrected me by slowing me down first. So let's talk about some of the typical signs that we see. Physically, that can be just the exhaustion of the body, just literally feeling like the tank is empty and you have not got the energy to even get out of bed, never mind do, or you get tired very quickly, have fatigue, you just constantly feel your physical body is exhausted. Mentally, this can show up in that you have brain fog, like literally your brain stops giving you ideas, stops thinking, stops remembering people's names. Like you can picture the person, the thing, but the name won't come to your mind. This is literally, if you think about it, the brain overwhelmed, overcapacity of information or inputs will find its way in whatever it can to stop working. Emotionally, this can feel like the frustration, even anger or even sadness over looking around and having a desire, but just knowing that it's not showing up in the way that you thought it would show up. That frustration of wanting to achieve certain things, but things not being in alignment. Maybe the team, the people that you work with, or the customers, the clients are not showing up in the way that you would desire them to. Um, and the anger, maybe the anger of um, the the expenses that it's showing up for you personally and professionally, or the anger of what it's doing to you, your relationships, your well-being. It really can show up in so many different ways for people, and for you in a way that you need to hear it, you need to see it, and you need to pause and slow down. So how I normally look at this is the invitation that you get here is for you to pause, slow down, recalibrate, and to look at what is your really true desire and what is the way that your life body, and when I say life, that's your body, your mind, your soul wants to experience, and getting really clear on that. Now, for me, the first tool that I use with my clients to do that is their human design, because, and hopefully you can watch my other videos on human design, but human design is the roadmap to your most authentic self. It is the blueprint of your energy body and how it's designed to be used in the world. So through using the human design, you get to explore, like, how are you designed to use the energy that will be much more in alignment to how your body is designed. So, for example, for me as a generator, I know that I'm here to notice what brings me joy and to throw myself into that and to leave at the end of the day like feeling full, like completely like that I've expended that energy on all the things that bring me joy. And then to come, I wake up with that new surge of energy to do the same thing every day. But it's by following the things that bring me joy. And that joy, when I'm in joy, that lights up all the other people. And then they're in their joy. And so I think back to all the times where I was doing, but there was definitely no feeling of joy. And then, even in your human design, it can show you that emotion, which is the energy in motion, the energy moving through your body that you feel when you need to be course correcting. And that emotion for me was frustration. And I can tell you all the times when I was saying things, doing things that was leaving me constantly frustrated. But did I calibrate? Did I look for another way of saying that, another way of doing it? No. I just overwhelmed my body constantly with that emotion of frustration. It can also tell you about your role within the community, within the world, and how you contribute to it. And when I look at how I was designed to contribute, I can now see that, all the things that I needed were coming from people around me. And in human design, I'm a 4/6. So I'm designed to be a role model for other people in living a certain lifestyle, which in some extent I was doing through, um, you know, like how I lived and how I ate was what I wanted to give to others. But the four in me, where I understood that my network was what was going to build my business, I wasn't doing it through that way. I was like hustling, struggling, chasing, and just using this real energy that was going to deplete very fast. And so the human design will help you to give yourself the roadmap to what you are designed to do and how this should look like for you. And then getting that guidance to really move through that and to recalibrate and start rebuilding your life based on the most authentic version of you. That's what really can support you once you've decided to actually listen to the signals to pause, slow down, stop, and recalibrate. So I want to talk about um, some of the inner work that I did on that journey following human design. So I spent hundreds and thousands on coaching, healers, practitioners, therapists, um, just all of the retreats and just everything that I did to repair my physical body, my soul, which had realized that I'd been ignoring it for so long, my mental and emotional state to be able to think sharper and to be connected with the deeper parts of myself so that every decision that I made came from this like inner exploration that I'd been through. Um, and to this day, I realized that I could not have done this without getting clarity from somebody else over how I was showing up and then recalibrating based on that. And the truth is, I didn't always take that help when it came to me. And I feel that because of that, it took me a lot longer and definitely cost me a lot more. And so I look back at all the opportunities that I had to get there faster that I ignored because I had so much limited beliefs around finances and my time and what needed to be the priority first. So I think a really good exercise for you is to just firstly ask yourself this question: what parts of myself have I abandoned in the pursuit of my goals? And I would take that time with that question, journal on it, sit with it, and notice what comes up. Because that's a starting place to know why you're burning out, why your physical body is no longer giving you the energy to do the things that you believe that you have to do. Because it is just a belief. You have to do a lot of things, probably, but those things won't feel heavy, a lot, overwhelming when they're aligned. Those things, I promise you, will feel like you want to jump, skip out of bed to get them done because you can't think of anything else that you would want to use your energy for. So, if you are interested in really going that next level, I would say that a starting journey for you is to really take a self assessment of where am I losing my energy in all the areas of my life. And you will see on my website or even the description below that I have my energy reset masterclass that you can watch to really get that roadmap of what the journey that I take clients with when I do this. Or another option is, I run the Health Concierge, which is a coaching and lifestyle support for the top 10%. So if you want to apply for that to see if you're suitable, you can reach out for me and have an energy audit, which is our consultation process where you apply and we see if there is a suitability for us to work together on that. So some people prefer to do that exploration of their own energy themselves, and you can use my roadmap, which is available by watching the Energy Reset Masterclass that you'll see on my website and the links below. Or you can already decide that you want to take that roadmap or your own roadmap and work with a guide to really take you through that journey. And that's where you can apply for the Health Concierge. So I hope you've loved these insights today. And I just want to remind you that burnout is not necessarily a bad thing. Just take it as an invitation from your soul to realign to what you're truly here to do, which will just that when you're doing that, you will feel so much inner peace, so much fulfillment and joy, and so much harmony in all areas of your life. And that's what I desire for you. So if you've liked this video, give it a thumbs up, give it a like so that more people can really be on this path that we're on to really be an overflow of our energy. And if you want to make sure that you are getting those lifestyle tips and the habits and the hacks, I always say the best place to find more insights of the journey is by subscribing to my newsletter, and you'll find the link below because that's where I'm sharing not just my energy audit that I'm going through, but the experience of my clients and the things that's showing up for me, and also experiences that you might want to attend. So definitely sign up for my newsletter on the link below. And I hope you just really enjoyed this. So if you feel that this needs to be heard by somebody else that really needs this message, you can feel free to share this video with them. And I will definitely see you on the next one. Take care.